Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. I've got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, break 3 to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in SportsZone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following SportsZone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following SportsZone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. Come on, man. Go to YouTube, type in SportsZone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from SportsZone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, peoples. Come on now. So listen, wherever you go get your apps from, you go there, all right? Whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Weebolts, Woolworths, Zemsky's, doesn't matter. You go there, you type in SportsZone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. SportsZone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku house, do us a favor. Download SportsZone Chicago's channel to your television. Put it there next to all the big boys: Hulu, Netflix, Prime, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Amazon Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. All right. Put us there on the big screen. We're on the big screen, right? Mickey now. Now you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SportsZone Shy. That's CHI at SportsZone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. You want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. All right, listen, we have a phenomenal show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. All right, so keep them coming, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see. Let's check the chat, because the chat seems to be jumping already. Yeah, we're moving. Haha, my man Armando Emeterio Lara. Junior, my man Junior's in the house. What up, Junior? Watch down. How you doing, Papa? How's everything? Patty, Dito, Jeremiah, Monica, Mondo. Hope you and the family are doing very, very well. Mr. Shode, what's going on, Papa? It's Friday the 13th, top of the morning, Armando. It is Friday the 13th. 13th. Shode, I appreciate the kind words yesterday on your show. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. My man, Shawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house and Mickey Ficky TGIF. And Friday the 13th. It is Friday. Woo, Charlie. No burpees today, Papa. No burpees at all, Mashawn. Cornelius Squalls in the house. What up, what up, what up, Sports Zoners? He says. My man, Luis Mejia. Good morning, grinders, baby. Rise and grind. That's what I'm talking about. See you tomorrow, Luis, at the party. I'm looking forward to it. The Christmas party, the CrossFit Warehouse Christmas party. I'm looking forward to it a lot. King Booker World checking in. He says, salute, chat, and Shawn. That's King Booker World's in the house. Brandon Schutz is in the house. He says, happy Friday. Good morning. Yay, yay. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Mr. Shorty. He says, much love, Shawn. Hey, man, I appreciate it. I really do. Brandon says, I'm Ben or I'm born on Friday the 13th. I don't know not sure. No, the 100 burpees yesterday, Michonne, that wasn't even nice, dude. That wasn't even nice. 100 burpees on Wednesday. No, that wasn't nice. Oh, man. Listen. Hey, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. All right? So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, leave a question or comment here. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll incorporate it into the show. We'll put it up on the screen. And that, my people, is what makes this the best morning show around. And, man, oh, snap. Louis says, I'll bring you a cigar. Yes. Yes, baby. Yes. Yes. Bring a cigar, baby. I love it. I love it. So, excellent show. 10 o'clock, my man, Vik Chokshi. Sports gambling. He was doing it for Fox Sports. Now he's doing sports gambling for The Athletic. And Vic's one of those guys that I really love talking to. Good friend, man. We go way back. Shoot, 6 years, if not longer. All right. And we talk all sports. That's the great part about it. He's not captured and he's not compartmentalized into one particular sport. All right, he's good. He can talk all sports, which is great. So we're going to talk mostly Bears with him. We're going to talk a lot. We're going to talk a little basketball, a little baseball with him. So we got a lot to talk with my man, Vik Chokshi, and I'm excited, man. Good to see him. It's been a while. He's been all over the world, India. He's Indian, so he goes back to, I'm sure, to see family and friends over there, and around the country. Traveling around the country. So good stuff for him. Really proud of him and what he's done. In the last 5 or 6 years, he's doing it big, baby. And I'm super, super happy. And I'm glad to call him a friend, not just a colleague. The Pontificators podcast. Good morning, Papa. I appreciate it. The first time I saw you in the chat, thank you for chiming in, checking us out. I appreciate it. Junior says, how bad are the Bears? The 49ers could only score 6 points last night. I know, last night. I told you they checked out. They're done. Players are done. If given the opportunity, I would bet on most players, not all. Most players on a team would say, yeah, it's not even played the last 4 games. Just give me my check, and I'm done. I'm out. That's what I feel about this Bears team, about this group of people. And I just feel that they're done. They're done. They're checked out. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So that's why you say, how bad are the Bears? That's why they're so bad. They're done. They are finito. I'm out. It's done. Unfortunate. But yeah, Vik Chokshi, 10 o'clock. Looking forward to it. We're going to cover a lot. Mr. Shorty, stick a fork in them. Stick a fork in them, they're done. You know, I need to tweet more. I need to tweet my thoughts. I know you're like, wasn't that what Twitter's for? Well, yeah, but a lot of times I just don't run to Twitter. You know, and one of the things that I felt weird about Tyreek Stevenson when they drafted him. He reminded me of players and students that I had back in the day who were talented, intelligent, but they just had this self-destructive streak about them. Right? They wanted to do dumb stuff, and if you didn't really crack the whip on them, they'd go off the rails. And I got that vibe from him. You know, a little cocky, little and little arrogant, little, you know. Excuse me. I just got that vibe from him when they first signed him. But I didn't say nothing. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. And now all this. Junior says, I thought they gave up and were done for the season when they landed face first against the Cardinals. Yeah, well, that was right after Washington. Washington beat us twice. And Washington started this snowball effect. All right. In today's Sun Times, was it Mark Potash? Let me double check. Yes, Mark Potash wrote an article on Tyreek Stevenson. He's saying Stevenson won't let one play define him. In the article, Stevenson says, quote, it's going to be what it is for the rest of my life. It was a play that I was trying to help my team win, but I feel like what I did before the play is overshadowing the fact that I tried to slap the ball down and send my team home with a victory. It's literally a lesson learned, a life-changing event. All I can do is move forward, unquote. Okay, I can go with you on that one for about a half a step. Like, don't sit there and say you're trying to slap the ball down and send my team home with a victory. That wasn't your job. That was not your job. So if you were doing your job and you messed up, okay, I get it. It happens. None of us are perfect. But you weren't even doing your job. Because as the play started, you're over there jawing with the fans. So don't look me in the eye, piss on my shoes, and tell me it's raining. It's not going to fly. You know, I just don't do it. That play literally. And I know other people argue with me, and that's cool. But that play alone started all this. What's causing all this? To borrow a phrase from Slick Rick. Guess what's causing all this? That play. That play. You know, Tariq Stevenson also goes on to say, I'm holding up pretty well. It's been one hell of a season, but that comes with football. Sometimes you make plays that are good. Sometimes you make bad plays, and people remember you for that. But the season's been good. I'm still a Chicago Bear. That's all that matters. The guys in the locker room have been keeping me up. Well, that's good. That's what teammates should do. But teammates are asking, like, what the hell were you doing? You know, he's in a weird spot because he's lost confidence. He's not playing with that edge that he had at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. And you can see it. Yes, Brandon, I'm drinking tea right now. James, what's up, Papa? How are you? King Booker World says the 49ers didn't even look like the same team from last week. Yep. Not at all. Cornelius Squall says that puts Thomas Brown in a really bad spot when I talked about the players quitting. I hope Poles is taking notes on who was quit. I hope so too. Might not mean anything. He might not be here, but hey, who knows? Who knows? Luis, I agree with you. Luis says the Bears need a tough coach. All business. You don't get in line, you're out. I get it. I'm with that too. Give me a disciplinarian. Because apparently it is what you're going to need because they're a veteran team that's underperforming. All right, you need someone to walk in there with some cachet who's got a resume behind him, who's got instant respect. Okay, who's got instant respect from that locker room. And it's a shame. We're going to talk about this. It's a shame he didn't bring Bill Belichick in just for an interview. Even if he didn't offer him the job. This is the greatest coach in the history of the NFL. And you don't bring him in for an interview? You don't bring him in for an interview? The greatest coach in the history of the NFL. 6 Super Bowls. In 20 years. He's free. And you don't go and bring him in. You know why? Because he's going to, first of all, he's going to tell you what the hell's wrong with your stupid organization. That's what he's going to tell you, and you don't want to hear that. That's where you're going to start. And you're going to have to take it. Because you know why? Because he's the greatest coach in the history of the NFL, and he can say that. He's got that cachet. And the problem is, you know he's going to be right. And 2, he's going to say, I want a hand in picking the groceries. We can't have Ryan Poles can't have his power lessened by any stretch. But to not go and just talk to him, even if you can just pick his brain, interview him, knowing you're not going to hire him, just bring him in. You don't do that. You don't do that. That shows that you're full of shit. That shows that the Bears are full of shit. Bears don't want to win. You don't want to win. You got the greatest coach in the history of the game out there that you can talk to. But you don't want to hear what he's got to say. To borrow words of Colonel Jessup, you can't handle the truth. Because he's going to tell him the offensive line sucks, the defensive line sucks. Quarterback holds the ball too long. He doesn't run when he's supposed to. Making poor throws. Shorty, you're right. He knows more football than them. You're damn right he knows more football than them. They don't know shit about football. That's why they didn't bring him in. They were embarrassed. They were embarrassed. Well, you know what? You know why you're embarrassed? Because you keep doing stupid, embarrassing shit. You keep doing dumb shit. Not aligning the head coach and the quarterback. Come on now. Same thing. 3 quarterbacks in a row. Same thing. Caleb, Justin, Mitch. Same thing. But you didn't want to bring him in. You didn't want to bring in Jim Harbaugh last year. I don't know how much that was Kevin Warren or what. It shows that you're full of shit. You don't want to win. You want to win, you get the best leader. Period. But you don't want to win because Harbaugh would have loved this job. This is his dream job. The Chicago Bears, the team that drafted him number 1 in the first round, not number 1, in the first round. He played for them. He loves this franchise. And you don't bring him in? Pose, oh, no, we didn't have a conversation with him. He's the head coach of Michigan. You should have had a conversation with him. So it's frustrating because you have people who could change the direction of this organization and you don't want them. Really? Really? So when the Bears tell you that they want to win, I suggest you push back hard. Say you're lying because Harbaugh was available. Belichick was out there to talk to. You just bring him in. Like the stupid White Sox didn't want Ozzie, didn't want Bruce Bochy. What did Bruce Bochy do 2 years later? Won a World Series. That's it. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing crazy. You don't bring in Bruce Bochy. You don't bring in Joe Girardi. You don't bring in Joe Madden. All these are World Series winning managers, and the White Sox didn't bring any of them in. And the Bears have a Super Bowl winning, the best coach in the history of the game, and you don't bring him in. I thought you were serious about winning champion, taking the North and never giving it back. Well, we know that's a crock of shit. Because the pretty boy got to be the most important person for the organization, the general manager. Well, guess what? You got your ass spanked. You got put in your place. Stay in a child's place is what Kevin Warren said to you in that interview. Looked like somebody just killed your dog. You look like you got checked in that interview. Right before that interview, you got checked and you sat there like a spanked child. Plankster's in the house. Good morning, Papa. How are you? Plank checking in. Appreciate you, baby. Mr. Shorty says, start wearing your jerseys backwards like I do now. I saw your show the other day, yeah. So this is prevalent and this is sad. So don't believe them. Let's hold their feet to the fire. Don't believe them when they say they want to win. Don't believe them when they say, oh, we want to get back to the top. We want to take the North and never give it back. No, you don't. You're full of shit. You want the big paychecks is what you want. How can so many people who don't know football see things that will make this organization better, and you, that clown show you have up there, can't see the same things. Can't see you need offense build within the offensive line outward. Can't see that. That's a crazy idea. Draft a whole bunch of first-round offensive linemen. It'll take a couple years. But you'll have a stud offense at that particular point. Can't believe, man, too bad the guy picking selecting the draft picks isn't an offensive lineman. Oh, shit, he is. You can't write this. You can't make this stuff up. A former offensive lineman doesn't draft offensive linemen? And then Kevin Warren, if the rumors are true and the reports, he didn't want Harbaugh because of the whole thing. Last year, they had issues and he was with the Big Ten when Warren was the Big Ten commissioner. Come on, man. You know what kind of coach he is. He took the Niners to the Super Bowl. He wins the national championship. He comes back. He wants the job, and you don't even bring him in for an interview. Like, this is why they don't have Bears Fest. This is why you don't have Bears Fest, the Bears Convention. Because you know what? These Bears fans are going to ask some really, really tough, pointed questions. You know, George, man, I hope somebody gives it to George in the Waldron lot. If I give it to him, I say, hey, why did you not bring in Harbaugh? Is it true you vetoed firing Eberflus in the offseason? He's there taking people the hard-working money's food. Ask him. Is it true you didn't want to fire Matt Eberflus? Is that true? Are those reports true, sir? As you take my hard-earned money, Mr. Billionaire? He ain't hard to find. He's in a Waldron lot for every game. Ask him. Listen, I got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we are going to get to the top of the morning topics. I promise you. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Move it!
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow SportsZone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at SportsZone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at SportsZone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take SportsZone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters. We're looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Fighting for it, gets it to the line, not out. Then an errant pass off Palmieri's stick, and the Islanders can't get it out either. They score! Connor Bedard on the power play.
Play was sort of unexpected, and Romanov almost gets it out. Watch his blind pass all the way across. So look at Trogan's just sort of, okay, just getting ready, and then this is a really good shot. This is where Bedard likes to shoot, up over the glove, and he snaps it in a hurry. And just a bad break for Pounds, but what a move there.
That's his bread and butter. Lost by Romanov. Paul Bertuzzi scores.
The pressure coming, and I think maybe Scott Mayfield's thinking he's going to bait him just a little bit, but not actually come behind the net. A little bit surprised, and Bertuzzi gets one, pulls a little bit of the air out of what's been a great third period. Actually,
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of MSG Network. Those were the Blackhawks last night on Long Island, losing 5-4 to the Islanders. But guys, you know how we do. This first segment of every show was called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first top of the morning topic, which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Speaking of the Blackhawks fall to the Islanders, as I was mentioning. 5-4, tough one yesterday on Long Island. Yeah. Soderblom, where are you at? Here we go. It's actually 5-4. Oh, Soderblom. He stopped 14 of 19 shots. Connor Bedard scored his 6th goal of the season. Brody his first. Bertuzzi his 7th and 8th. As far as helpers, Donato his 6th. Vlasic his 11th and 12th. Bedard his 17th and 18th assists. Foligno his 5th. And Taylor Hall his 7th helper of the season. The Blackhawks play in New Jersey tomorrow afternoon. Puck drop is at high noon Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. You know, it's frustrating for Hawks fans right now because, you know, you have this young superstar in the making, Connor Bedard, and you got to put things around him. Right? Your head coach just got fired, all right, due to the poor effort and results that they're getting. And you just can't have it around. You've got to get better. You've got to have better results. You've got to develop this youngster. This kid is a generational talent. All right. And it's funny, hockey, they don't seem to throw that term around All right, like all the other sports. All right, they don't seem to throw that term around. All right, everybody's not generational. And, you know, when they do label someone as generational every 4 or 5 years, that player usually goes on to live up to the hype. All right, we're talking Austin Matthews with the Maple Leafs, Conor McGregor from the Edmonton Oilers. Okay. These are some of the guys that were called generational. Every 4 or 5 years, there's a big gap in between those guys, 3 to 5 years. And, you know, we got one. We got the next one. And to me, that is important. And to have the results that they're having, was the reason. Coach says, yeah, I missed something. So, unfortunately for the head coach, he had to go. You got to go. You gone. But you got to win. It's a results-based business. But moving on to the next topic, the morning topic, the Bulls. The Bulls host the Charlotte Hornets tonight at the United Center. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 AM. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw Patrick Williams should return tonight. I'm excited. You know, I like Patrick Williams. He's starting to mature. It took him 4 or 5 years, but hey. No. Mr. Shorty says, I literally forgot this was a House of Pain song I heard on a road trip. Wow. Fix. Crazy. We do. Oh, goodness. Oh. Always something, always something, always something. Lord have mercy. King Booker World says, all of the team owners in the world, and Chicago has to get the ones that pour milk in the bowl of then milk. Oh, they pour the milk and then the cereal. Oh, that's crazy. That's funny. That's funny. But keeping it moving. Next after morning topic, the Bears. Our Bears. The Bears travel to the land of 1,000 lakes. Travel to Minnesota to play the Vikings on Monday night. Let's have another national embarrassment. Let's do it. Who's up for it? I'm up for it. Why not? Kickoff Mondays at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on ABC7 or ESPN, whichever one you'd like. Or you can listen to it on the Bears flagship station, ESPN 1000. Oh, you know what? I misspoke. The Bulls-Hornets game is not the broadcast is not, the radio is not 1000 AM. It is 670 AM. My mistake. I gave you some misinformation. The Bulls game is not ESPN 1000 is 6:70 a.m. The Score. So my apologies. My apologies. You know, when I how do I put this? Here, let's do this. I am frustrated a lot with a lot of our teams and a lot of our, just like you, a lot of our teams and a lot of our front offices. And I try not to just come on and bash them. I don't want, it's, to me, that's not what I want to do. However, I have a difficult time when our teams do things that are so backwards. You sit there and wonder, like, how do you get these jobs? I digress. Let me get moving. The next top of the morning topic: Bill Belichick is the new head football coach at North Carolina. All right, this is him yesterday. This was a sweatshirt. Now, Bill has never coached in college. However, his dad, back in the 50s or 60s, 50s, I want to say, did coach at North Carolina. It'll be Bill's first job there. And according to reports, all right, Patrick Finney wrote in the Sun-Times today. And he said an ESPN story that detailed Belichick's thinking that taking the job in North Carolina, figured the Bears had no interest. Well, he was right, because the Bears don't want to win. He's right. And apparently this was the job he wanted. According to the article by Patrick Finley, he said six-time Super Bowl champion Bill Belichick and his closest advisors considered the Bears' vacancy to be the most attractive one, but doubted that team of executives would consider him to be their next coach, according to a report Thursday. So he was right. He had his finger on the pulse. King Booker will say he needs to be close to his girlfriend. Yep. Joseph Archer checking in. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Mr. Shorty says, "You're breaking my heart, Shawn." Hey, I'm just talking about what they're writing. These are our Bears. Bill Belichick knew that the Bears would not get him a job. He's got people all over the place. You're the best head football coach in the history of the National Football League. I think you got a couple connections throughout the league. I still don't understand how you don't bring this guy in. It boggles my mind. But then when we look at who we're dealing with, the Bears, we're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That's Bears. The Bears. That's the way that's their MO. They do dumb shit. They do dumb shit and wonder why we are the laughingstock of the NFL. They do dumb shit like, I don't want anyone cursing on Hard Knocks. What? They do dumb shit like not lining up their quarterback and their head coach. They do dumb shit like having a third consecutive quarterback, first-round quarterback, having 2 different play callers or more in his first 2 seasons with the team. That's the dumb shit that they do. And we keep watching. Shorty, this is funny. So what does that show Caleb? Incompetence. I'd bet my left nut that he demands a trade in the next 2 years. Well, he can't. I mean, he could demand a trade, but he's under contract, and the Bears can have him for 4 more years, actually. They'll pick up his 5th-year contract. So he's got 4 more years left here. But I haven't heard that since Coach Schaller, my grammar school football coach. That was his saying. You blocking like my left nut. We're grammar school kids. Oh, man. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, that's what it shows him. Incompetence. It shows us any and every reservation that he had about being drafted by the Bears is coming to light. It's coming to fruition. Now you see why his father allegedly didn't want him here. Now you see why Caleb allegedly didn't want to come here. This is a shit show. You look at organizations like the Patriots, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Longevity. You know, they're in place. It's not a clown show. They have competent people doing important jobs. We can't seem to find competent people. And then wonder why this is a clown show. King Booker World, you couldn't have put it any better. King Booker World says, I'm not even a Belichick fan, but I know if you have a chance to get him, at least meet the guy. At least. You know, I mean, at least meet the dude. This dude, what he can tell you, which it could change the direction. Just what he tells you in those interviews, in that interview, could change the direction of your franchise. But no, we don't want to hear how bad we are because you know you're bad, because you know you're horrible. You know you're incompetent in most management positions. He's a big personality. You know why? Because he's won 6 Super Bowls. I would think my shit didn't stink either if I won 6 Super Bowls. Call me crazy. Bastards. Next topic, the topic, college football awards. Were handed out yesterday. Travis Hunter. He better beep, beep, beep. He better back up a truck. Travis Hunter was named the AP College Football Player of the Year. But wait, there's more. He was also named the Walter Camp Award winner. That's another Football Player of the Year. But wait, there's more. He was also named the Chuck Bednarik Award winner. That's the best defensive player in the country. But wait, there's more. He also won the Bolitnikov Award as the best wide receiver in the country. So let me explain. Let me ask this question like Dion. How do you get the Bednarik Award winner, the Chuck Bednarik Award winner, as the best defensive player in the country, but you don't win the best defensive back in the country? How does that work? You're not nominated for the defensive back of the year. How is that? The Jim Thorpe Award. How is that? How are you not up for that? Who's the Jim? Who's this? Jade Barron was named the Jim Thorpe, the 2024 Paycom Jim Thorpe Award winner. Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame and Jim Thorpe Award announced Thursday. Texas football senior defensive back Jade Barron. How do you not give it? So he goes, oh, Travis Hunter gets 2 National Players of the Year, the National Defensive Player of the Year, but he doesn't take the best cornerback of the year, best defensive back of the year. Come on. Now you're trying to spread it out, so he doesn't take all the awards? Okay, maybe. But man, he doesn't get 2 National Players of the Year, the AP and the Walter Camp, and the defensive, and not. I don't understand how that happens. I don't know. Keep it up with college football awards. Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty won the Doak Walker Award. That's for the best running back. Miami quarterback Cam Ward won the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback Award. That's for the quarterback. Indiana head coach Kurt Cignetti won the Coach of the Year. Man, let me tell you something. Indiana, I am impressed with that program. Made it to the college football playoffs this year. They head up the road to play Notre Dame in Notre Dame Stadium. How huge would it be if they upset Notre Dame at home? How huge would that be? King Booker will stop. It says Bears the type of organization to hire Park District Phil as a new head coach because he leads the youth team to the Park District playoffs. Stop it. Stop. Oh my goodness. Well, the playoffs start today. Playoffs start today, and I'm fired up about it. No, I thought they started today. What the hell, Bobby? I thought that was it next week. And maybe it's next week. All right. I thought they started today. I stand corrected. But that's going to be one hell of a matchup. Indiana at Notre Dame. We'll see. Listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of this break, we're going to welcome my man, Vik Chokshi. We have a lot to talk. He's coming. I hope he can do it. He just got back from the dentist. Hope he's not all Novocained up. He might be drooling as we talk. It happens. He's a pro, though. He's a pro. Listen, so don't go anywhere, folks. My man Vik Chokshi on the other side of the break. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow SportsZone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at SportsZone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at SportsZone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take SportsZone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Caldwell, a great job he's done as well, helping out with Thomas Brown. Second down and 3. Catch made for a first down by 3. There's Swift. They keep it on the ground. And Swift picks up a first down. Third down and 2. Williams complete. It's a first down. Keenan Allen. That's his first catch today with Caleb Williams. They have a really nice connection. Long toss Charger. This is DJ Moore. Moore works his way inside the 10-yard line. This drive. There's Swift. DeAndre Swift picks up a Rams first down. 3rd and goal. Williams throws, corner of the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown by Roma Dunze.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Those comes courtesy of Fox. Man, that was a beautiful toe tap by our mans. The luxury pick of Ryan Poles. Then you go draft a wide receiver. I know we need help on the offensive line, but let me get a wide receiver. Let me build a great 7-on-7 team. And I like Rome. I do. I really like Rome. And he's starting to come of age. I like him. But I also like my quarterback standing up and not having to run all the God blessed time. I like that too. But I digress. My next guest, I'm fired up, man. Fired up to have this dude on. It's been a long time. Should have left dude. without a doubt beat the step 2. He's a good friend of the program. As I said, man, he's been rocking with your boy for years. For years. And he had this unbelievable streak at one point. He did this crazy-ass streak of, he's like, oh, I'll pick some Bear games for you. Dude went like 11-3 or some crazy shit like that. Like, whoa, I wish I gambled. I wish I gambled. But then he went on to do the great stuff of BetQL, Fox Sports, and now he's with The Athletic. Man, let's welcome in. And you can find him on Twitter at DocSquad33. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya. My man's in there, Vik Chokshi. Vik, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's good, man? It's been too long, brother. It's great to be on.
Hey, you're the one flying all over the world, bro. India this time, California, Texas, Florida.
It's been a journey, man. But I always give credit to you, man, because there was a time when I wanted to quit working in the space, and I see you probably don't even remember this, and not to get too off tangent, but I had texted you and I said, like, I'm having some doubts, and you gave me some great words of encouragement, man. So I'll always have love for you, brother.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Well, I knew it, man. I knew this the way our conversations went. I'm like, no, there's a spot for you in this, and we didn't even know how big it was going to get. I mean, it's so much bigger now than when we first started talking. When you first came on the show 5-6 years ago, something like that, like the sports talk space and everything. And now sports gambling's legal. I mean, it's so much bigger, and you've carved out a hell of a niche for yourself, man. I mean, going from BetQL to Fox to, now The Athletic. Dude, it literally opened up. It's right in your wheelhouse, man. That's awesome. You took it and ran with it. So there are opportunities for everyone. Everyone doesn't always take it with it, and I'm happy for you. You know, even if that means I don't get to talk to you as much, I'm still happy from afar.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. This picture of Patrick Williams in the background is already getting me fired up, man. So
he's back, baby. He's back.
I know. Let's jump into it, man. It's always fun talking to you.
Well, let's talk Patrick Williams, and then we'll finish up with some Bears. So Patrick Williams, dude, it's only like his 5th year. It seems like he's been in the league but 5 years is a long time.
Yeah.
But the dude might be like 24. He don't even think he's 25 years old. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah. This dude, he probably has only had like 1 or 2 full seasons of like basketball because of all the injuries and COVID and all the stuff. He's 23, which is like crazy to think about. He's 23 right now.
Jesus Christ. Dude, that's insane.
I know. He's been around the block, and he seems like a veteran, but the kid's 23, and I feel like he's legitimately played like 1 season of ball.
And he's not even in his prime yet. We're talking 25 or 26. He's going to hit his prime. Man, this kid, if this kid can really, and I think, let me tell you something. One of the things that I think is making him play well is Matas Buzelis. That son of a bitch. He plays with an edge. He has an attitude. He ain't trying to finger roll shit. He's dunking on your head. He's going to the hole. He's hitting a dagger 3 when an opposing team can't afford a dagger 3. His mindset, I think, is what's really pushing Patrick Williams. And I hope it does, because Patrick Williams is really, really talented. Talk to me about how much you think he's looking over his shoulder like, man, this kid ain't no joke.
I think you bring up a great point, and I think Bulls fans and even the Bulls front office almost wish that Patrick Williams had the kid's motor, because it's like, this guy's a physical specimen. He's got a huge ceiling, but there's just nights where he looks like he's not trying. And so if he had the rookie's motor, that would be the complete package. But I think you bring up a great point, man. Like, hopefully that's the motivation that Pat needs, other than just him being able to stay healthy. But that is going to be a big kind of storyline to watch for the rest of the season, right? And so the frustrating part is like, you extended his deal, right? Like, you give him the money. And I think that's where fans now are like, listen, we need some production. And people sometimes forget he's 23 and He's not, but is he injury prone? Like most people will say yes now, right? And so, again, the craziest part is, dude, and I've talked to some people literally in our front office, like they are like, the guy is a physical specimen. It's absolutely insane. And when you hear it from the players, Kobe White, like anybody on the team, they've all said it. Lonzo said it. But then you talk to guys around the league, and when he guards them, they're like, this guy is a man. He's a beast. And so, it's just about like putting it all together, which I don't know if it's going to come now, right? And this has got to be that make or break year where you kind of see it on the court or you don't. And that's going to be kind of the defining moment. A lot of people are worried the same thing that happened to Lowry is going to happen to him, right? Like we let him go. He finally puts it all together, blossoms. But there's other people that are just like, he's injury prone and he's never going to get it together because he doesn't have a high motor. So I'm still optimistic. I was big on the kid's ceiling. I've seen the flashes. I've seen him play summer league, which again, I know is not a good indicator, but he has more than he's shown. And I would just love for him to show that consistently.
Yeah. And why? It's funny. Like, does he realize how many millions and millions of kids would love to have his position, would love to be in his shoes? You got kids who would do anything to be drafted into the NBA. Not to mention the position he was, to get that and then to not have a motor, it seems like basketball isn't the most important thing in his life right now. And if you're you got wife and kids, okay, maybe you got a wife and kid, dog.
Yeah.
Like there's no other reason. Like there's nothing in your way impeding your focus on making basketball the utmost priority in your life. Yeah. And you and I, we've seen it in summer league. We've seen it in regular games when Zach and DeMar were out and he'd take over, like, oh shit, there he is. And then he go back into his turtle shell. Like, dude, keep it out.
The thing that still like gives me hope, and again, I could be completely wrong here, but like he was working out at 5 with DeMar. Like he is putting in the work in the off season. Like when his teammates talk about him, or even people in the front office that I've talked to, like it's not a thing that he doesn't love basketball, which I was worried about, right? Because it's like that's what it seems like sometimes. But he's in there, he's kind of putting in the work. The bigger thing that I'm concerned about is like it's just his nature. It's his nature to defer and always be that complimentary guy, as opposed to being the man. Whereas like that's not what you're seeing from the rookie. Everything that you started our convo with, like you see that kid, he doesn't give a shit. Like he's going to dunk on someone every single play.
Watch ahead, baby. Watch ahead.
Exactly, which is amazing to watch as a fan, right? And so, but he's got that dog in him, as the younger people like to say, whereas like maybe Pat just doesn't have that, and he's always going to be like a 13-point, 5 rebound, 6 rebound kind of guy that can play defense on some of the better players in the league and just be a role model, like a role player. But if that's the case, then you can always find those kind of guys, right? And so, then you overpaid with kind of the money that you gave him. So
the draft selection, the draft position, and the contract extension.
Exactly, right? So again, I don't think it's a case of like him not loving ball. I think that might just be his nature, which is probably even worse in my opinion.
And and the thing, we've seen him go ham in a game, and so I'm wondering, like, do the Bulls have a sports shrink on staff? A lot of professional teams do.
Yeah.
I mean, they have it in Wall Street. They have shrinks to get their mojo back when you're trading and things like that. Do they have a guy on staff or a person? Doesn't have to be a guy, a person on staff who can kind of unlock him and say, hey, when you're on the court, we need this animal that you can be, but it's only in flashes. We need it all the time. Because if he had, you talked about that, if he had Matis's motor, oh my goodness, this dude's, he'd be in the all-star. He'd be a perennial all-star. Perennial. With what he's got.
I mean, you're right, but honestly, I don't know if we have that, dude. And like, we can get into a bigger conversation of how we have the worst owners in the world as a collective group.
Yes.
And I feel like every team is run like a mom and pop, as opposed to big business now, man. VCs own companies. They run them like businesses, whereas like we're always run like mom and pops, all the teams across the board. And you see it. You see it with the Cubs. You see it with the Bulls. You see it with the Bears, unfortunately. So, I don't know if they have that on staff or if they're actually willing to go like get someone like that. Whereas, you see some of the better teams like the Warriors that are run like a true business because they're backed by VC money, or you see the Mets and the owner of the Mets. I don't know if you saw that comment, and like that comment to me just like really tugged at me because he said it was a civic duty and it would bring joy to millions of people
fans.
if he spends money and his team wins. And how amazing would that be? None of our owners would ever say that in their lives. And, and like, it's hard enough for them to say the goal is to win a championship, right? It's always like, oh, we're happy to play postseason ball, or we're happy to make the play in, or, things like that. But I just dream of a day where we can have an ownership group like that. And so to answer your question, yes, he definitely needs to see one. I have no clue if like we have one. If not, hopefully someone listening to this or you have some connects that can like hook them up with one, because we need to do something to unlock this kid's ceiling for sure.
I am not all for Zach leaving now. Zach has grown up. He's matured. He's a husband and a father now. He's got two kids. And maybe that's all he needed. Because I was like, get that joker out. First train out of here. And then he hurt his knee and everyone's. But what I'm seeing from him, when he came out in media day and said, hey, listen, don't listen to anything anyone says. He goes, if you want to know something, ask me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. His cojones dropped a little bit. Okay. All right. I like that. And it's from what I'm seeing, the way he's playing, the leadership, the maturity that he's exhibiting. I really like Zach, and I'm like, oh, we might not need to ship him off. I know he's making a boat ton of money, but damn, this guy. He's played defense. Like, dude, we've been asking for this for how long? And now he's giving it. He is amazing when he wants to be on the defensive end of the court.
I think the issue that people will run into, or like a lot of fans might counter you by saying, is like, what is the ceiling of this team? And there are 2 back-to-back amazing NBA drafts coming up where there's some real guys that can like change a franchise almost, right? And so to me, it's just pick a direction. That's always been my like frustration the last couple of years. Like, don't just play for the play-in. Like, when we lost our pick to the Magic, that crushed me. Because it was like very simple. You knew that season with Lonzo out, we weren't going to go anywhere. And for us to like not just kind of make some moves at the deadline to be a little bit worse, to be able to get a top 10 pick that can then improve your team, that crushed me. And that's the back and forth that I go back with my buddies, or just even with you right now. It's like, I love Zach. I've always loved Zach. I appreciate him. But the construct of our team and the way that he plays and his ceiling, like, is he the number one guy on a team that can win you a championship? If the answer is no, how are you going to get those guys? And it's got to be either by trade, free agency, which no one has ever signed here, and or the NBA draft. That's the 2 times we've ever been good in our lifetimes. Me and you are around the same age, with Jordan and Derrick Rose, because we got those guys in the NBA draft. And that's where I go back to with these 2 drafts that are coming up. It's like there's 5 legitimately really game changers, in my opinion, back-to-back years that are coming up. And so you got one really good young kid on the squad right now. If you deal Zach and you deal Vooch to some teams that can use the help, you should be able to get into that top 5, get a kid that's a difference maker next year. You'll have a lot more money. They'll be super young, so you'll probably be back in that lottery again the year after. And now you got like, some really good young pieces, a boatload of money. And if those kids hit their ceilings, you have hopefully a team that can actually contend for the title. And so yeah, I mean, it's a tough call, man, but I just would love the organization to pick a direction and roll with it. And if they're sticking with these guys, then like, let's go get some veterans or get some guys and make some moves to be able to like bolster the squad to be able to make a real run and not just like make the play-in, win one game. Jerry gets his $1 million from that play-in game, and then they tout that we made the playoffs, and we're a contender and we're right there. And so that's the thing that always crushes me, and I feel like we've just been stuck in that mud with AKME since they've been here. And again, it's not there like that Lonzo year, the one that he got hurt where we were number one, and that was a fun squad to watch, and then everything went to crap because they got injured. But it's their moves that they've made since then that have been troubling for sure.
Guys, we're joined by Vik Chokshi, from sports gambling guy over at The Athletic. We're talking Bulls basketball right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Yeah, I really missed that Lonzo Ball team. They were firing on all cylinders, and I get it. They probably weren't going to win the NBA title, but man, at least have a spot in the playoffs, not the play-in. All right, give me a spot in the playoffs. All right, and that's where I want this franchise to go. The Josh Giddey is looking like a nice little acquisition. Okay, Lonzo's not the same guy we saw, but I mean, guy missed 2.5 years. But you still see some of the things that he did before, because his mind isn't deteriorating. All right, his knees are just giving out. All right, but his mind isn't. So he's making great passes. He's setting people up. He's hitting a couple threes. All right, so I don't know where, and I hear you with as far as the direction, because I want Vooch needs to go. Even though he's playing defense now, what the hell is that about?
True.
What the hell is that about?
He's playing well. He's playing well this year.
Yeah, hitting threes, playing defense, going out and facilitating. I'm like, damn, Vooch, you turn back the clock to Orlando, Vooch. But no, I hear you. I think I would like to get rid of Vooch. I wanted to keep Zach just because now if someone gives us a couple picks, cool. Because I think Zach can be can be someone's Robin or something to someone's Batman. I think he'd be a phenomenal number 2. He'd be an amazing number 3 scorer on a squad. But I don't think he's a dude to lead you to the promised land. He's Robin. He's a second fiddle, and that's okay. That's who he is. You just got to find that role, and if he does, and we can get some of these kids you're talking about, then now we're cooking with gas. But I don't know. I'm not up on the young kids coming out, so that's kind of jaded my opinion, or shaded or formed my opinion of wanting to keep Zach. If I have to, I guess I have to look and see who's coming out. And I know the flag kid out of Duke, everyone knows him, but other than that, talk to me about Billy Donovan. How secure do you think his job is with the squad at this point?
Yeah, real quick, there's these 2 kids from Rutgers that are really good. There's the Illinois kid that's going to be top 5. So those are the draft picks. And then when it comes to Lonzo, man, I love that guy. Like, just watching him play basketball, like, can't help but root for him, And Zach, to your point, I do not want to give him away for pennies on the dollar. Like, that would be the absolute worst thing that we can do, in my opinion. And so, like you said, if we can get a couple picks or get something worthy, sure. But I don't want to just give them away to give them away. I hope that's not what happens. And when it comes to Billy Donovan, like, again, I just go back to, like, prove me wrong, but the Bulls are the Bulls, and they're not going to pay people and, splurge for another big coach while they're paying another guy on the payroll, especially where they don't feel like they're in a championship contending mode. And so I just think that he will continue to be the coach. Whether we think he should be or not is a different discussion. But I just don't see them making a change, man. And that goes back to money and some of the stuff that we just talked about all of our ownership groups. But, in my opinion, I do think he would do better with younger guys, because that's just like him going back to his Florida roots, right? And like, and the ability to like shape a team like they're college kids almost. And so if they break this thing completely down and go rebuild mode where they get rid of Zach, they get rid of Vooch and them, like, fine, let him do his thing. But again, I think that he is a good like point A to point B guy, but I've never seen him as like a point B to point C guy that can bring us a championship if we had a full roster. And so, but again, going back to the money thing, I don't see anything happening personally either way.
Okay, so he's a developer of the youngster. He's a guy that gets them. He preps them. He gets them ready for the next guy to take him to the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know if he's a developer because like we can look back on seeing, but he's had some success, right? Like at his old job, and so had some success in college. So I think that because these new NBA generation is very different than like what we grew up with, right? And
Yep.
it's like he's still kind of old school, and so is he as old school as Tom Thibodeau? No, but like he's still kind of old school, and so even like some of the insiders I know were telling me like when it comes to the rookie, like he wants him to earn his place, right? And he's kind of said so much in conferences, but like sending him to the G League or making him really earn his playing time. Some of those kind of old school things, which is good, and he's trying to make him tougher mentally. But that's the role that I think he is better at. And I also do have to give him a little bit of credit. I have no clue why they didn't do this last year, but they are shooting more threes, right? They're trying to adapt to the NBA game, so we have to give them a little bit of credit for that. Like they are finally playing like the modern NBA is playing, and that so we should give them some credit for that. My question is just like, why didn't we do that last year? Why didn't AKME get 3-point shooters last year? Why didn't Billy Donovan take more 3-pointer shots? Maybe he knew we just didn't have shooters on the roster. But, so I do think those are a couple of positives that we should give them credit for this year.
Yeah, one guy who we've seen development from is Kobe White. This kid, I was a fan. I wasn't overly excited about him in the first couple of years. I was like, this dude is a bona fide all-star. All right, he's a bona fide all-star. Talk to me about his game and how you've seen it develop and evolve from when he first got here.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved Kobe White ever since the beginning. I just love his story. I love how he plays. He's fun to watch. But what you said is kind of how I think I felt about his game. Like I always thought he was a 6'7" man, off the bench, like Vinny Microwave Johnson, because me and you grew up around the same time. Like, you can come in and light it up a little bit and like just that's about it. But he's evolved, he's grown, he's playing really, really well. I think the passing, it's opening up a little bit. Maybe the game is slowing down. It takes time, right? For people. And like this is also like his sixth season, even though these guys are young, like he's been around for a while, right? And so, I think like we all knew he could shoot threes. He's taking more threes now. He's averaging about 9 threes a game. His 3-point percentage has always been kind of around the same at 37%. I'm just looking at some stats, but I want to see the growth in like assists. And so that you saw last year, which was nice. He finally got to over the 5 assists a game marker. And I want to see a little bit more of that. Or I want to see I just want to see a direction with him too, to take the next step. Like I agree with you. He's grown a lot. He's fun to watch, but like, is he a gunner? Is he a scorer? If so, just let him go even more, or are you still trying to shape him into being a point guard? And if so, then I would love to see those assist numbers go up. And so my biggest thing with him is just like consistency. But it's been great to see his evolution. I think he's a great piece to have on the squad. Now, if we had a championship roster, that goes back to my original thinking is like, then I could see him coming off the bench, right? And really being that guy that can come in and then he can go. I still think that's his true nature if we ever build a championship squad, but he's been, one of the bright spots on the team for sure.
Cool. Let's switch gears. All right. Let's talk about our boys on the lake. Just got back from San Francisco. How bad of a firestorm is this, in your opinion?
I don't know. How many? I've met you a long time ago, and I feel like every year we have the same conversation. It's just so frustrating from a fan's point of view because it feels like when things can't ever get worse, like
They say, hold my beer.
exactly, right? And it's like, how much suffering do we need to go through? And like, again, I think Ryan Poles has done some really good things, but the thing that really, really upset me this offseason was the fact that we brought Eberflus back. And you know, you had a chance to reset, you had a chance to get aligned, you had a chance to go get your guy. Everything we saw this year nationally with everybody jumping in, we've been seeing for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
You know, just everything across the board. And so if it's that easy and simple for us to all see it, the ability for him to not only like bring him back, but double down and now jeopardize the pick and the franchise and the future to me is just really, really like upsetting. And that has me down on Ryan Poles for sure. And I think like the Kevin Warren thing with him like trying to step in and help out, like Ryan Poles can be upset, but like there's a reason someone's checking your work now, man. Like, you know, the things that you've done almost make it like that's like us at work, corporate America. It's like you're doing a good job. Your boss is not going to say shit. They're going to let you do your good job because they got 100 firestorms they need to put out all the time. But like you start messing up, people are going to peek under the hood and like see what's going on. And that's what I think the situation is happening now. Where like Kevin Warren's like, okay, man, we let you do your thing, but now we're going to be a part of this because they're only going to get one shot at it, right? Like otherwise, you get another coach, you bomb on this, then you've ruined Caleb Williams and you've ruined all his future and everything he brings to the table. So that's the biggest thing that worries me, man. It's like, yes, this is going to be, we say this every year, biggest franchise altering move in history, right? Whether it's a new coach, new player, new quarterback, we're always in the same cycle. But like this year, more than anything, I think because you got the guy at quarterback that you can't get this wrong. And so it's going to be, I just want these 4 games over. I want the kid not to get hurt. And I want to get to this offseason ASAP and just have the ability to like build. And the other big thing, and you played football, you've coached football. This will be my final big like note. I am 45, fat, bald, never played football other than flag football. And I know the way to win in the NFL is to have a good O-line, good D-line, and a good quarterback. So why do you have guys that are in the front office that played offensive line in the NFL and they don't see it or they don't understand it or they don't put priority into that? That and the Eberflus thing kills me. And so that's my last thing on my rant here.
I agree with you. And I said that same thing to start the show. I went on a little bit of rant. I got fired up this morning. And I said literally the same thing. Like, how if average Joes who have never played football and just watch it know you build from the inside out. You draft and develop offensive linemen. Why don't you, as a former offensive lineman who had a tryout with these same Bears that you now, general manage, why do you not think it's important to fortify those lines? I don't get it. So give me your thoughts. There's a lot going on. Give me your thoughts on the Tyreek Stevenson thing. All right. In the Washington game, which I see is I think that started the whole thing. I think that was the whole thing that started this snowball effect that still has not stopped.
Yeah. I mean, his numbers just don't. I was very high on him last season. I thought he had a great year. This year, he's not playing well. And on top of that, there's been a lot of stuff like that, that he just got fined for something he did in the Detroit game, right? On the receiver. So, those kind of guys you play with high passion, high intensity. But again, look at how Mike Tomlin deals with Pickens. And like, to me, it comes back to coaching leadership. Like, you got to have a head coach. You got to have a CEO. You got to have a guy that can like take highly passionate guys like that and like reel them in and utilize their talents, right? So, it's going to go back to who we hire as a coach, man. And I think like the last parting shot I'll have for you, because I have to jump, is like the coach, and coaching matters. Exactly. But I want to see an offensive guy, and I know we failed with that a couple times, but defensive, you bring in a defensive guy, you get a really good offensive coordinator. If any offensive coordinator in this league has success with Caleb Williams because of the spotlight and the Bears and who we are, one good season with Caleb Williams, that guy will be gone. He'll get plucked, and he will be the next hot thing, the next Ben Johnson, the next, so you'll lose that, and then you never build that continuity. And so I really do think Caleb's the guy. And I really think people in the building love him, from workers to teammates to coaches to the front office people. He's the guy, and you get one shot at this thing when you get a kid like that. And so I would love to see them go for someone offensive minded.
Okay. All right. Vic, great stuff, buddy. It was great talking to you. I appreciate the time, man. Glad we can finally connect. Do me a favor, though. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I will be back. This is me and you can do this for hours. One of the greatest joys of my last 10 years since I've joined sports was when, and you probably don't even know this, but when I came to the station and me and you just hosted a show, so much fun, man. That's the dream, and I can talk to you about anything. So thank you for having me on. I'm at DocSquad33 on Twitter. I still call it Twitter, not X. And the Athletic, we have a sports betting page now. So really, we're just trying to pump out some fun, new, creative content. We'd love to have people come check us out. If anybody needs a free view or a free sub or something to check out an article, please holler at me on Twitter. But always fun coming through, man. Hopefully next time I talk to you, hopefully we're in a better place with some of our squads.
Man, I hope so, because I'm scared to say, but it can't get any worse for the White Sox.
I know it, man.
We could have a 20-game improvement and still lose 100 games.
That's the sad part. But happy holidays, man, and all the commenters. Thank you guys. I appreciate you, man, and it just makes me happy that you're still going, brother. This is great. I'm happy for you. I love seeing that you're going to games and doing your thing, dude. So keep it up, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Happy holidays to you and the fam. All right.
See you guys.
All righty. Guy, that's Vik Chokshi, sports guy from the Athletic, sports gambling department at the Athletic. And he's one of those dudes, man. He's just a cool cat. I do remember when we were in Oak Lawn, hence the name Oak Lawn Shawn. We were in Oak Lawn, and he came to the studio to do the show, and man, it was awesome. We just sat there, we just talked sports, literally just talked sports, and it was great. It was great, and I'm trying to find where this thing went wrong. Right. But then I'm also trying to find why it went wrong. So I get, and this is what happens. So I know Ryan Poles is upset now. He's got a football guy to answer. Okay. He doesn't like it. Why? Because for the first 2 years he had a report to nincompoops, guys who don't know shit. Okay, so he could tell him his grandiose plans and what he's going to do and his whole philosophy, and it sounds good. But now you got a guy who's like, nah, that doesn't sound good. And you can sit there and talk Kevin Warren, just go get the stadium built and shut the hell up. I get it. But if you're president of football operations, you're president of football operations. It's not president of stadium development. So he has every right to step in and say, nah, homie, we need to do something. I think they keep Poles. Here's why. One, who's going to want to come to this shit show if you're a head coach? And even if you keep him, still, who's going to want to come to this shit show? Two, is it fair to say that the fate of Ryan Poles lies in the hands of Thomas Brown, interim head coach. Now, mind you, the reason we have an interim head coach is partly because of polls, partly because of the other brain trusts, some of whom are not here anymore. They gave him reports were they gave him a 3-man list to be head coach. So yes, he hired Matt Eberflus, but he hired him with restrictions. Like, these are the 3 guys, one of the 3 guys you got to pick. Like, okay, well, I guess this is the best I got. Shorty, watch, our next head coach will not be a Caleb fan, and that a-hole will trade him. You mean like Sean Payton in Denver? Who's the McDaniels he went to Denver too. And we got Cutler. Josh McDaniels. That was the guy. Like, I can't stand Cutler. You know, it's but how deep does this go? Now, we play Monday night. Thank goodness. We play Monday night. In Minnesota. They're breaking out their all-white unis. They're going to be dope as hell. And the people pose this question. And I'm going to give you my take. People say, hey, well, you know what? They went to overtime. They took a bad sack, blah, blah, blah. They're close. I'm like, yeah, they're close, but here's my but. Minnesota looks like a competent team. They look like a team that's focused. They're still trying to win the division. All right, stay on the heels of the division-leading Detroit Lions. I don't think they're going to have the same poor performance that they had, and they don't have to face a Matt Eberflus defense. But we can say what we want about Eberflus, okay? But he was a bend but not break guy. Our defense bent, but it didn't break. All right, how many times do we keep holding people to field goals? I think Minnesota goes off this week. I think that Justin Jefferson goes off this week. I just think they're going to exploit the run. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think we're going to get embarrassed on national television again. We were the second game last year. Luckily, it wasn't in the majority of the country. I think it was only in Chicago and San Francisco was where the areas where that aired. The rest of the country had another game. But I think we are going to get destroyed because I feel that the players have checked out. The players have checked out. All right, that's my sense from the locker room. Who was I with? I was on Chicago Clubhouse podcast on Tuesday. One of the things that I told T. Nick and the guys, but yes, they quit. I think they quit. But I went to interview a couple of guys in the locker room after. And they're like laughing and joking. And I'm like, what do you have to laugh and joke about? No, I don't need. I just felt that they're like, oh, we lost. Oh, well, I'm getting paid Tuesday. It seems like there's too many guys in this for the check. And I hope they realize it's going to be a very difficult time finding another job giving you checks like this every week. It's going to be a difficult time. You better make this situation last as long as possible. And here's what my issue. I talked to Tevinjenkins and I talked to Matt Pryor. And I asked both of them. I said, I said, well, first of all, what contributes to the inefficiencies of the run game. Oh, we got to execute better. We got to execute better. Like, no shit, Sherlock. So then I followed up with a question. I was like, did the 49ers in San Francisco do anything different than you watched on tape? Which could be confusing you. And both of them said, no. They didn't do anything different. So you mean to tell me you scouted this team, you saw what they did, they ran the same shit that you scouted, and you couldn't stop it. You couldn't block it. You scouted them. You saw what they do. You saw their scheme. They ran the same scheme, and you couldn't block it. I don't know. Shorty, what the hell is this about, you weirdo? Last time I walked into a Bears locker room, there were ding-dong swinging everywhere, and Dave Wannstedt kicked me out. What were you doing down in the bowels, and how'd you get in the locker room? That's the question. How'd you get in the locker room? Because they have guards at the locker room. There's security at the locker room doors. Like now to the point we got to scan in. They have a new system across the NFL. Oh, okay, Shorty. Shorty says I worked for the Bears for 3 years. I did not know that. Aha. So you must have got in right after the game when the coach was talking. Since the use of your descriptive words to say that the players were still I had a media pass. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dude, that's dope. That's dope. But I don't think our Bears have a chance this week. I think Justin Jefferson goes off. I think everyone's going to want to eat. Aaron Jones is going to want to eat. Jordan Addison is going to want to eat again against this team. TJ Hawkinson is going to eat. And Justin Jefferson is going to eat. Eric Kramer had lost the game and he was sitting in the hallway, head in hands with his helmet still on. Oh, okay. Way back then, huh? I just don't have the confidence in this team. I don't have the I don't believe in this team. I think there's too many chatty Cathys on this team. Everybody wants to get on a podcast and talk shit. Which is exactly why Thomas Brown had to say we got to nip this in the bud and keep house business in house. There's far too much. There's nobody. Everybody wants to go talk about it. Nobody wants to do anything about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go on our platforms and say what a mess it is. Okay, but how about you just go out and play? How about you do that? How about that? Because all this can be washed away with some wins. Let me say that. Let me take that back. A lot of this, some of this can be washed away with wins. We need some victories. Okay? 7 in a row. We got 4 games left. Are we going to end an 11-game losing streak? Lord help me. A 14-game losing streak and an 11-game losing streak. That on GP should cost Ryan Poles his job. I don't see the passion. I don't feel the passion from most of the guys. I told you, by the time we get in, half the guys are gone. We're standing outside and there goes Sewell. Oh, there goes such and such. There goes such and such. Coaching matters, and I feel Thomas Brown got a really raw deal. Underperforming veteran team. Now, if he can pull this switch off and he can get it to where they start playing, excellent. But it's tough for a rookie head coach, rookie manager, head coach to maximize the potential of an underperforming veteran team. This is just difficult. It is just difficult. I hope he has. It's still 4 weeks left. I hope he's got what it takes. Starting off the game slow, can't do that. You got to get these guys back on your side. Because you come out slow again, we'll add an 8th consecutive loss. Because Minnesota's got some firepower. Minnesota has some firepower, damn it. They signed Aaron Jones in the offseason, so they got a run game. Got TJ Hawkinson. They have Jordan Addison. They have Justin Jefferson. You have a guy who you might have to re-sign in Sam Darnold. This dude's going to hit 4,000 yards. You pay for nothing. Because I know you got J.J. McCarthy. But man, what do they do? That's a good problem to have. Because J.J. McCarthy didn't do anything to lose the job. Got hurt. It's out for the season. But do you want J.J.? Do you think he can take you to the promised land? Or do you think Sam Darnold can take you to the promised land? Shorty says, I still can't believe a Hail Mary destroyed this team into a 7-game losing streak. Yeah. I mean, it's no different than a big-time win. You know, we've all seen teams, one lucky bounce, boom. Oh, after that, one lucky bounce, they win the game, and man, they go on a run. Well, one lucky bounce, the game doesn't go our way. Hail Mary, Washington Commanders did us in. So, I don't know how to go about this. Because I've never been on a team that's, and I'm not on the team, but I've never witnessed a team that I was coaching or playing for that quit. Even we had the worst coach in the world, Daryl. We didn't quit. Daryl actually took us to won a national championship with us in 1999, 25 years ago. 25 years ago. Crazy. It's the 25th anniversary of our national championship. Wow. Junior, we got to call Cola, see if you're going to do anything either right after the holidays or something. 25 years. No, Shorty. No. Don't give me free agent offensive lineman. That's a way to really screw yourself up with the cap. Okay? They have three picks in the first 2 rounds. 2 second rounders. There's 1 first. We have our second and Carolina's second. We have the ability. Dude, that's 2 offensive linemen right there. I say 2 offensive, 1 defensive. I'm okay with DeAndre Swift. I didn't think I would be. I'm okay with DeAndre Swift. He can run between the tackles. And he can get to the outside. Excuse me. I just see the ability to grab 2 or three great, really, really great players in these 3 rounds. I think you go offense, and then the second and third, one offensive, one defensive lineman. Depends on who's on your board. If one of the top edge rushers is on your board, take him. If one of the top offensive linemen is still on the board, take him. Go get the edge rusher in the later part of the second round, which won't be too far off. It won't be too far off. Carolina is going to be a couple picks ahead of us, which is going to be our pick, and then a couple more we're going to have our pick. So it's going to be right there. We're going to have 2 quality linemen. Hopefully one offense, one defense. Build this line, build the line, build the line. Offensive and defensives. You want to bring Keenan Allen back? Okay. Hope it's a friendly deal. Because now Caleb's going to have some consistency. Now Caleb's going to have DJ, who I still say doesn't like him. He's going to have his boy Rome, who he loves to always force the ball to. You're going to have Cole Kmet. Still have not Gerald Lewis. Who's the other tight end? Goodness. Gerald Everett. There you go. I know he's a 1-year deal, but O-line, D-line. That makes a difference. A huge difference. How many times have I said on the show? Detroit, 3 first-rounders. Why they run the ball down everyone's God blessed throat. Minnesota, 2 first-rounders, and I think Yeah, Minnesota's got 2 first-rounders on their offensive line. Green Bay doesn't have any. We have 1. There it is. That's where it starts. Well, listen, folks. You guys have a phenomenal weekend. Have the CrossFit Warehouse holiday party, Christmas party tomorrow. So I'll be there. Luis, look forward to seeing you there, Papa. It'd be great to catch up with you again. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. It's supposed to warm up. Thank goodness. It was cold as a witch's titty out there this morning. Whew. It's cold. Had to break out the big parka. Man, that sucker nothing. Gets by that sucker. But it's supposed to get warmer this weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Warmer, warmer, warmer. Let me see what 26. Let's see what it says. So we got rain coming. Oof. 28 degrees today. 40 degrees tomorrow, Saturday. Rain in the PM. 46 degrees Sunday. Showers in the AM. Monday, 51 degrees. Showers, likely. Then Tuesday, back to 38. This is from the Cheryl Scott's Rise and Shine forecast in the Chicago Sun-Times. But listen, guys, everybody from here at SportsZone Chicago, we want to wish everyone a happy holidays. Like I said, I'll see you on Monday. We'll talk game. We'll have some more Bears breakdown on Monday, day of the game. Weekend. If you're going to Christmas holiday parties, be safe. Don't drink and drive. Get a designated driver. There's a thing called Uber and Lyft. Do that. Do that. Spend time with your loved ones. Just do it. I'm telling you how important that is. How good you'll feel, how good they'll feel. All right, folks. I'm out. Got to go pick up the warden from CrossFit. You have a wonderful weekend. I will see you guys on Monday. Game day. Whew, I'm fired up. Game day. Until then, from everyone here at SportsZone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal weekend. Your boy is out. Bye.